Hey everybody, today we have Taylor Brune with us. She's going to be talking about doing partnerships on Instagram. If you know of her, she is always my recommended virtual assistant. She has an agency in our group, Female Physician Entrepreneurs. As you can see, she is the medical minder virtual agency, so look her up. She helps with social media management, course creation, just about anything that a busy physician could use. Taylor's highlight, or I should say strong point, is that she's built up a strong Instagram following um, with her autoimmune disease. So she has an autoimmune disease, and yet she's out building a business. So anything is possible. Taylor, thanks so much for being here today. Take it away.
Thank you so much, Sharon. That was really sweet. Thank you so much for showing up. I'm so excited to talk today because this particular topic is really important to me because this is a main component of how I built my personal Instagram and online community and audience, who later after 2015 and now it's 2024, who still have stuck with me, who have bought things for me, who have encouraged me through my journey, are still around. And that, I think, is such a valuable asset and tool to anyone in business and trying to, get their story out, as well as their purpose and their services. So I have just a quick little slideshow presentation to kind of explain the different types of collaborations that you can do, influencer marketing, a little bit touching on that because that is an option. So give me one moment. I'm going to share my screen. I think I can view it full screen. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Okay. Welcome once again. My name is Taylor, and I help physicians, build their online businesses and help with their content marketing, as well as support them in other virtual assistant tasks. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about, Instagram partnerships, the different types, collaborations, influencer marketing, paid collaborations, and some tips for getting these opportunities as a physician, entrepreneur, and influencer online. Okay. So first we want to understand exactly what Instagram partnerships are. There's so many different types. One of them is collaboration between a brand and an influencer to promote products and services. So that's what a collaboration is. The importance of this is it does enhance your credibility. And this is the number one reason why I think this is so fascinating and so helpful for your business is it expands your reach and builds your audience. Any type of collaboration, partnership, giveaway, influencer marketing campaign, it always expands your reach, builds your audience, and builds your trust with your audience because you're collaborating with them more, engaging with them more directly. And it also can be financially rewarding, which is really great to earn some of that passive income on the side. Okay, so types of partnerships. So the sponsored posts, and a lot of people, not just the basic beauty influencer can get these types of partnerships. You can as well. A lot of physicians have done all of these types of partnerships. So sponsored posts. So this is where a brand pays, you to create some type of content based off their product or service. For instance, figs, fig scrubs. It's going to be sponsored. They take really good care of their figs, ambassadors that they want to, sponsor. They sometimes pay you, or they sometimes pay you with scrubs or their jackets, etc. Product reviews. This is where products are sent to you by the brands, and they just want you to review it on your socials. And this I do recommend doing, but you do want to make sure it is always a product that you trust and that you would use yourself. And we'll talk more about that a little later. So giveaways, I think every physician entrepreneur should be doing this, even if it's a small giveaway, like a small little PDF Canva made, freebie ebook about your specialty, or a little bit about what you teach and online. I think always having a giveaway and partnering with other physicians or other brands. I think this is, one of the main components that everyone should be doing, because this is what can bring in hundreds of thousands of followers, and it can bring up your engagement rate and your reach rate, because everyone will be flooding into your audience from, someone else's audience too. Excuse me. So brand ambassadorships. So this is becoming much popular now. These are more long-term partnerships where the, influencer regularly promotes the brand and receives products. And once again, Figs does this, MDF Instruments, Littman, different types of, products, clothing for nurses, for doctors, for PAs, anything in the medical field, they do offer different brand ambassadorships. And for physicians, they offer a lot of different opportunities for different companies, whether it's health food companies, supplement companies, or, specific medical instruments. I know a lot of suturing companies reach out to surgeons to promote their suture kits, and also pre-med and medical students too. So here's some examples of my personal throughout the years of just things that I've been sponsored, paid for, and some of the content I created. So I love gardening. That's part of my health wellness. I do my own garden, and it's through this company, Let Us Grow. So I've made videos, I've, done pictures for them, and, they send me free garden stuff. Or credits, to buy the seedlings. I've done, different glasses. I've done MDF Instruments, the stethoscope. I've done different medical clothes companies. And that's been fun because they send you really cute, different things. And they offer sweaters too for some of the doctors who work in the hospital. And, I've done Suja, I've done like supplements, Go Macro, Garmagard. I've done diabetic CGMs, continuous glucose monitors. I've done other medical equipments where, they pay me to post and review. And, it's really interesting because you can be so creative, but you want to be authentic, one, to your brand. You want to pick partnerships and products that's authentic to your brand, as well as your message and, your values. So, always, be wary, go through the different emails. I'll talk later on again how to get these types of partnerships, but, you really want to think about what you are truly selling with your audience. So identifying potential partners. So this is kind of to get you thinking, for your own brand and your own niche, because, every physician is different. Every physician business is different. You could be wanting to partner with other physicians for, your practice, to help bring in more patients, or, your coaching practice. So it can, it's very wide and verse. So you want to think of the relevant brands, focus on brands that align with your niche: healthcare, wellness, medical equipment, other physicians who do workshops or conferences for physicians, or conferences for health, wellness. Sometimes you can collaborate with the conference hosts through that. Scrub companies absolutely love physicians. And surgical equipment, stethoscopes, nutrition companies like supplements and such. And then even schools that you went to for your residency, medical school, any certification trainings that you have. Like I went through integrative nutrition certification coaching, and they offer ambassadorships, they offer affiliate programs, so check into some of the schools and see what they can offer you, because even I graduated from ASU, Arizona State University, and I was an ASU ambassador through them, and I had, many connections and opportunities even to speak on a panel of pre-med students with also like really high up there, physicians from like Johns Hopkins and Mayo, and it was a panel of, discussion between physicians and pre-med, and it was just fascinating. And I wouldn't have gotten that opportunity unless I was an ASU ambassador for online. And it just opens up these opportunities, paid, unpaid, that will just change your life and, further excel your career and your networking. So also you want to think about audience match. Ensure that this brand's target audience aligns with your followers, because not only will you be promoting their brand or their service or their product, they're going to be promoting you on their newsletters, their blogs, their YouTube, their Instagram, and you want to make sure that, their audience is, aligned with yours. Okay. So influencer marketing collaborations. So it's a form of marketing where influencers promote products, services to their followers. And these are some of the benefits for physicians. It definitely helps with credibility. Physicians have inherent trust and authority, plus sales with your products and community build. It definitely offers the educational value, opportunities to educate the audience about health-related products that are legit, that, can be science-backed, that have been tested, that have worked well for you, as well as, your patients or your clients. So this is really important, that you want to collaborate with the right people when you do influencer marketing. Whether you're the influencer or you hire influencers to market your services. So the types of influencer marketing, like content creation, like they would be creating content featuring brands' products. You could be doing Instagram takeovers for other people's businesses, brands, and then they would come follow you, and your audience would grow. So a lot of, scrub companies, figs, physician workshops, people who do courses, they sometimes allow other doctors to come over, take over, and show a little bit behind the scenes on their day. And then they do the same, and then just floods of audiences come in. So this is a tactic that has been used for quite many years. And then Instagram stories and reels for the influencer marketing, they create the short, engaging content that promotes the brand. So if ever you're asked to do influencer marketing collaborations for you, this is what to expect to create. And then, so there are paid collaborations on Instagram, and this is where, it can be very beneficial in multiple ways. But this is how, this is one way you can monetize your influence. So there's a lot of different factors that go into monetizing your Instagram. First off, it's really important to continue growing your social media, especially your Instagram, because Instagram does unlock features as your audience grows. As you hit those, 10K following, 20K following, 50K following, they actually give you like secret opportunities to earn different higher levels of monetization. And it's very interesting that they do it that way. But that's one reason why you want to constantly be growing your social media, your Instagram, because it can unlock monetization opportunities, like TikTok or YouTube, or Facebook Meta Reels. Anyways, so you want to kind of figure out, in order to really monetize the influence, you want to determine your rates as well, because you will have people coming and contacting you to, do influencer marketing with them or paid collaborations with them. And so you want to really think right now what your rates are, and, think of the factors like your following count, your engagement rate, your niche relevance to different brands. Excuse me. And then, you know, you want to think about the aspect before you start negotiating contracts about the key points to cover, which are, you know, the deliverables, payment terms, usage rights. So you just really want to kind of do some research on negotiating contracts for collaborations through Instagram, because, you know, they will send you contracts. You want to be prepared. You want to know their wording. You want to know your worth, and to be able to not have them low bottom you. You want to be able to say your price for it. Um, and then, you know, some platforms and tools for paid collaborations, a lot of, you know, influencer marketing that you can find some influencers through, as well as sign up yourself. I haven't personally used these three, but these three have been talked about in our community for a while, and it's the Aspire Q, Tribe, and Upfluence. I There will be agencies too that, you know, want to take a percentage of your earnings. I don't recommend doing that. I never did. I just, you know, carefully did my research on any contracts I had with partnerships, and I just reached out to the brand myself, which I'll talk about that. Um, and so you know, that could be some of the tools that you look into. There's a lot of, you know, chat rooms that discuss what works best, what doesn't, for marketing platforms like that. And then also, you know, platforms and tools for paid collaborations. Like I was saying, Instagram unlocks monetization levels. So does Facebook, and TikTok, and YouTube. So they all have different creator programs. You know, you have to be invited, you have to unlock it, you have to have, you know, certain amount of stats and growth in your social media. So once again, it's really important and vital that you just continue posting and putting out content and growing your Instagram, because eventually, even though it's a long-term game, you can earn money from it, and you can, you know, grow that beautiful audience that you will keep for many years. Yeah, and then, you know, Instagram has some new branded tools for content. You always want to, when you do have these opportunities, you always want to market paid partnership, and you always want to tag and put a hashtag that it is an ad, because a lot of, you know, doctors or, you know, just influencers in general don't realize that you need to market as an ad, because, you know, some legal things could happen if you aren't careful about, you know, portraying that this is a paid partnership. So you just want to do some more research on that as well. And then, so, you know, the best practices for paid collaborations, you know, transparency, always disclose it to maintain trust with your audience. Authenticity, promote products you genuinely believe in, like I was saying. You know, professionalism, deliver high quality content, clear, crisp videos, you know, photos that are clear, crisp, you know, quality. And then, you know, always meet the deadlines that they require. And they'll just continue to ask to, you know, these businesses will continue to ask you for other paid collaborations. Okay, so how to get collaborations as a physician influencer, building your brand and audience, like I was saying, consistent content, regular high quality posts related to your niche, engagement, actively engaging with your audience through comments, DMs, and live sessions, professional profile, well-crafted bio with the keywords like we've discussed before, your professional photos, and a cohesive aesthetic. Because a lot of these brands that want to pay you to post about their scrubs or their, you know, stethoscope or their blood pressure machine or the heating pad, you know, for rheumatologists or chronic pain coaches, you know, they will look at your feed. If it's aesthetically pleasing, if it's cohesive and easy to understand, they will look, and then they will reach out to you. So you always want to have, you know, be on point about having everything just be presented the best that it can be. So networking and outreach, as all physicians know, is one of the most important thing about being doctors. You know, you're always at events or conferences, you know, always learning, always meeting other doctors, always presenting, you know, to colleagues. So you just always want to continue networking and outreaching online. It is a job, networking with other physicians and other brands and such, but it pays off in the end because you build beautiful relationships and that can be mutually benefit for each other and help each other out. So the one thing that one way that I learned about it was these brands started reaching out to me and started giving me free product and then started giving me product and pay to post because my audience kept growing and growing. And so I didn't realize that you could directly, you know, reach out to them too. So then I began later on reaching out to the brands that I loved, like My Kind Garden of Life vitamins, supplements, different foods that I absolutely love. I started reaching out to them, and then all I did was just send a message, and I scripted it really nice and talked a little bit about my brand and how it would align with theirs and to see if they had any opportunities for collaborations. Really simple outreach in the message. And then there would be like, yes, we love, your profile, and that does seem aligned with our values. Here's our, collaborations email. And then, they would just sign you up. So that is one way that you can do it. So if there's a brand, a business that you want to, be an affiliate for, reach out to them, be bold, send that message because, you're going to get that email and that connection. And it's just a quick application to be their ambassador or their influencer. And, it can open up a world of opportunities. Or you could reach out not only through Instagram DM, but also through, email that they have in their websites too. At networking events, attend industry conferences, events, and that's how you can, collaborate. And then online communities, which there's tons of influencer networks. I'm sure there's physician influencer networks that you can, do some research for, some forums and Facebook groups about it. Okay, so one important thing that if you do want to become a physician influencer and earn some money, it is good to create a media kit because some brands and businesses will require to look at your media kit if you're not, already having like 100,000 followers with a blue check mark, like all of us, most of us are. So you'll want to have your media kit so that they can just quickly look at it and be like, this is perfect, it aligns. So, you can find these simple templates through Canva, or you can build it through Adobe Spark. But you want to make sure that you have, a little bio, your follower demographics, your engagement rates. If you've done any past collaborations or, paid collaborations, it's also really good to put that. But here's an example. This is for fashion, but it's basically the same. You just put some of your feed posts, your contact services, brands you've worked with and such, and then they will keep that on their file or send it to other companies that would align with your brand. Okay, so this is also important, is you want to leverage all the testimonials, client successes, patient successes, case studies, things that you've had, because it just shows you're successful, you know what you're teaching, you know what you're talking about, the social proof. But you also want to show successful past collaborations that you've done, so maybe create a highlight. If you've done a lot of collaborations, a lot of lives, Instagram lives, or done workshops and such, you want to create like a highlight, collaborations, partnerships, and just, continually share it in your stories. And, that shows brands and businesses that you've done past collaborations. So you'd be, really good and willing to do future as well. Okay. So this is if you want to hire influencers to help sell your product that you've made, because a lot of physicians do have, excuse me, a lot of physicians do have products that they've created that they want to be shown more, whether it's an online course, because you can have influencers help sell your online courses, which is huge. So I'm gonna tell you a little bit about one influencer marketing, success and program that I helped with, for a physician who owns her own scrub company, and she wanted to start implementing that. But the problem was she hadn't posted on Instagram for many months before. So the algorithm didn't really recognize her Instagram yet. So, I suggested we need to start continually posting on Instagram so her Instagram reach, grows as we're building out this influencer marketing process. Because once the influencers start promoting you and your services, people are going to want to check out your Instagram to see if you've been posting. So if you do influencer marketing, you must continue posting on your Instagram. So some few things that we did that worked really well for her. So we created like a PDF guide talking about her business, her product. We gave content design tips, like her ideal, content that she wanted them to be sharing about her brand and her product, to keep it very aligned on both platforms. And then we gave, excuse me, we gave discount codes to track, so that we could track the metrics of whose code was doing better, whose influencer was doing the best. You also always want to follow up if you do reach out to people to do your influencer marketing, because sometimes they don't see it. That's what I've learned. So you have to have at least 3 follow-ups always. And then you realize, okay, it might be in their other inbox, or they just aren't interested. But you usually get messages back by the second follow-up. So you always want to create a strategy and plan for your content, the communication with the influencers, like the flow, the steps, how are you going to reach out to them? What's the next step? How are you going to onboard them? How are you going to get their code? How are you going to plan, strategize, their, scheduling? Because it's a big load. It takes a lot of time and it's a lot of communication. But if you build out this process before, when you're going through it and doing your influencers, because they will build up, they will pile up, and you will have all these influencers, you want to stay very organized. So you always want to make sure you build out a process, and you want to have someone assist you with this, because it's too much for, the physician to be communicating with all of these influencers and, directing them, answering their questions. Like, you want to have someone help you do this. And that's what I was helping her, is help her build this process, this program. And then I was communicating with them and organizing and scheduling, their posts. I was helping with the shipments of the scrubs. I was helping with creating the discount codes, tracking the codes, etc. Um, excuse me. So also what is really helpful is holding seasonal, annual, monthly campaigns. Include them in not just your Instagram posts that they post, but you want to give these influencers incentives to share your product, your service, your business, your course with their platforms. Like, you want to be able to like offer, come on my podcast, blog post about them, newsletter, put them in the newsletter, like a little thing, be like, oh, this is our influencer of the month. You want to be able to have them want to share more and more and get you more and more products sold. Because if you just send them scrubs, and expect them to give all this, they unfortunately don't really, they need to be motivated. They need to be motivated, they need to have incentive, and then it's successful and both sides work. So it's really a relationship type of building with influencer marketing. And that's, the more you build this relationship with them, the more it's give and take, the more successful it will be for you. And then, like I said, you just want to be active on these socials during the campaigns. And what we saw is people did buy the scrubs and from these influencers, and you could track it, and it was just phenomenal. It was phenomenal and fascinating at the same time, that implementing influencer marketing and consistent content, creation and strategy actually, provides, increase in your audience, increase in your engagement, increase in your sales of your products. So it did show all these things, um and it was really successful in my opinion, and it was really fun too. So once again, I'll put my free Instagram workbook for you. It just has some guidelines and strategy and goal setting in the chat. And if you need extra assistance, or if you have any questions about this specifically, please email me, because I'm happy to answer them. So now I'm gonna answer any questions anyone has. Hold on, I need to do the chat real quick. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm gonna put the link here for everyone in the chat. Okay. If there's no questions, that's okay too, to think about. But doing collaborations will definitely increase your audience too, and giveaways. So even if you want to start out as giveaways for your Instagram, I think that would be the best first step for people starting out, is just partnering with people to do giveaways, because that will increase your audience significantly.
I have a question.
Hey, yes.
I didn't know I wasn't sure if we were live or if this was recorded, so I'm sorry. But
Okay.
so I got here late because I couldn't get on at first. So I have kind of stopped posting for a while because of some different things that are going on with
Yeah.
my job and things like that. And I've just been really like a
Yeah.
little bit frozen. So what do you think the best way to like start re-engaging? I mean, I don't know if you have any tips that you can give me for like getting back in the game a little bit. And because I'm very comfortable doing live
Okay.
posts and talking, and I used to make Canva posts and things like that, but I haven't done much at all in the last year.
Have you felt like more unmotivated? Like, what do you think is the source? Because
The source is that I was like a free bird in private practice for years, and then all of a sudden we got bought by a large organization, and now I'm at a point where my guarantee is up and I might have to switch jobs and things like this. So I'm just, right now, my reason is that I'm worried and nervous and all this stuff. But for the past year, it's more been fear of like, well, now I'm a big organization and I don't know what I can and can't do.
yeah.
You know,
In regards to posting online, is that what
Yeah.
you mean?
yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of big organizations do limit. So I think the first step is finding out what you can and can't post. Obviously, I know it's probably not about the organization. A lot of them you can't post about that. But if
No.
you, yeah, if you, I'm sure they allow you to post, you start posting about, things that are you're passionate about and educating others, especially that you're expert in. So to build that motivation, it's, you don't want to do, okay, I need to do 5 videos a week. I need to do 3 graphics a week. Like, start little, like start even on doing your stories, like posting a daily story, like on my way to work or at work on my lunch break, and start doing that. And then that'll get you in the habit of at least posting 1 story per day. And then that'll kind of motivate you to want to create other types of content. And then this also gives you the time to get the motivation back to think, what do you want to post about on your content? You
Mhm.
want to really think about your goals and what you want from posting on Instagram. Because, Instagram originally was made just to post to share with your friends and family. But now, as a physician, it's now part of your success in being a physician, your success in getting more patients or clients or building a business. So you want to have, these strategies in place, but you don't want to be overwhelmed and burnt out. So you want to find out what you're allowed to post, what you're not, and go based off that, but also based off your passion. Like, what do you want to help this community with? What problem do you want to solve? And by doing stories, like maybe one story per day, start out, and then doing maybe a graphic per week, and then moving into like adding a reel per week, then you'll start getting small growth or big growth. You never know. Your video could go viral overnight. You just never know. But you'll start getting growth, and you'll start getting that confidence back and that motivation back. And then you'll get the creativity sparking again of what you're needing and wanting to post. So just take it baby steps. And a lot of clients have been in the same, spot where you have, switching from the organization to private practice, or, going from private practice to organization. So it is a confusing, and it's a time of transition, but that shouldn't deter you from being able to express your expertise, express your wisdom, so that you can continue helping the community with your gifts and what you've learned through this.
Okay, thank you.
If you need specific questions, just email me and I can help you brainstorm.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
So Nicole does a lot of fitness. She's all about fitness,
Okay. Cool.
nutrition and whatnot. So I know you do fitness on a regular basis for yourself. Just maybe start there. Do the familiar. Like
well, it's funny you say that, because I used to, like, a couple, I don't know, 2-3 years ago, I was posting every morning. Like, I work out every morning, and I was going live every morning and like showing an exercise. And I think that was very popular, but I don't know why I stopped doing it, but I did. And I don't know. So anyway, yeah, I was thinking about it this morning as I was working out, and then I just didn't do it. But maybe I should just do that again. But it's not like clean, like you said. Like, I came in a little late, I admit, because I was confused. And but you were like talking about how, you should really be very clean on and so like mine is like literally, my gym is like, there's stuff in my gym that's not, so I try to point the camera, but it's not, it's like me talking to the camera or showing an exercise. So I mean, is that good? I mean, that's where I started. So
yeah, workout videos and fitness videos are a little bit different. I was saying more like the graphics. If you want to start doing graphics and photos, you want to have the aesthetic be, easy to see, the brand colors be organized. But for videos, especially with working out, it's going to be a little bit different, especially with, the angles and trying to talk and trying to show. But I think, if it worked before, definitely start it again, do it slowly. Definitely incorporate, the nutrition, like the types of meals, the macros, even doing like a quick post on like, this is my protein packed lunch that I have, and this was my morning workout routine. Like, it's just showing like what you've done, what works for you.
You got me had already. High protein and muscle is my focus these days. So
I love that. Yeah, no, definitely. You can definitely be successful. Like, everyone needs to learn this. And it's surprising that everyone needs to learn the basics of it, so you need to show them basics.
I mean, I was seeing a patient the other day, and I do sports medicine, and he was like an older guy, a little older than me, and he plays hockey and stuff. And I was like, so, what do you do for working out? He's like, I've never worked out. Like, and I was like, what? Like, so like I had to start basic with him, but like, I just assume like, oh, well, you play hockey. So, you've lifted weights, like, anyway, so it's just funny that people do need the basics.
And even like, eventually, if you want to incorporate that aspect of you, that story you just said now, like sharing that story, obviously not too many details to save his privacy, but like to show this is a real concern. Patient of mine came in, and have you felt this way? Has this happened to you? Is this something that you're interested in? People will comment, people will engage, people will be like, this is me. I have played, this sport my whole life, but I don't know the structure of how to work out. And this is, and then you can say, this is what I did to help him. These are the baby steps we started with. And then, do another reel or post, 3 months progress with this patient I was telling you, what he learned, what he's been doing, how it's improved his heart health, his, metabolic health, etc. So these are types of content ideas that you can do. One that shows your credibility, shows, the patient problem, overcoming it, and what they did, what you implemented. It shows your expertise, and it also gives information on, what we as the audience need to know, going with it. So yeah, I think definitely starting there and incorporating some of those things again, but you don't want to over burn out yourself. So don't put the pressure on you. Like, you will grow at your pace, and the people that you need to connect with will come to you when they're supposed to. So don't get caught up in, oh, I need to post 5 videos, etc. Because, start baby small, and then eventually it'll just become a habit, like working out. You'll just be posting and, growing it.
Yeah. Yep. Thank you.
Nicole, another one is that high protein. It's so basic to you, but I could tell you I'm doing like an accountability with 2 other physicians. And we're like, how do you get protein in? What are you eating for protein? And all 3 of us are like that. No,
Yeah.
no, that we're supposed to do high protein, but it's like, how do you get that in throughout the day?
I tell people all the time. It's funny. Yeah. That's what most people ask me, to be honest with you. Like I'm always giving free advice. But like, people that work in my office and stuff, like I recently had like a text with one of the women that works in the front desk, and she's just like, they just want to know, like, what do I eat? What do I, and I don't like to tell people what to eat, but I say, well, here's what I do. And here are some things like that. So yes, I mean, that's the thing, Sharon, is that I get very like confused because like, people see me as fitness, and I do love fitness, and I am sports medicine, and it goes along, and I work out every day, and I love talking about that too. But then I also love talking about the food, and no sugar, and the high protein and stuff. So I get like all,
Yeah, but that's all part of it, honestly, because you can't you can't out exercise a bad diet. I love my daughter. She was so healthy with her food. I don't know what happened. It's all sugar crap. Like,
yeah,
and it's not good for our brains. Like, it's not good for our bodies. It's not. And Taylor, with the autoimmune disease, right? I'm like, what are you doing here? It's very
Yeah.
frustrating for me.
Mhm.
But so I don't think that people do get it. Like, they think she goes to the gym and exercises 2 hours a day, right? But then she eats crap.
right.
Yeah.
Butter is the same. So I get it. Like, she kills me every day with the food. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. And I think there's another question from the chat. This is me too. What to use to keep track of all these ideas and things to post? Do you mean Shermian, do you mean will you clarify that exactly? Do you mean just like keeping the content ideas or your strategy? What do you mean by this? If you're still there. Content idea and strategy. Okay. So yeah, so you want to really like keep a journal. Start writing things out. Start putting your goals of what you want to post on Instagram. What do you want to be known for on Instagram? How do you want to show up? How do you want to help people? Who do you want to help? What results do you want to get them to? So then if you kind of start thinking of that, then you can kind of start thinking of, your content idea and your strategy, and what you want to build. And it also can align with what your career goals are. Like if you have your own practice, if you want more patients, or if you have a side business and you just want to sell these products or your services, you can create content based off that. So you can create content based off, multiple pillars, on your specific needs, desires, and goals. And that's how you build your strategy, is through your goals. So you always just want to start at the basic, and you keep track of all these ideas. Like I will get random ideas, speaking to some clients and just hearing them, share what's going on with them, highs, lows, that I wouldn't have even thought of. And it inspires me to think, oh, okay, I'll put this as a future post to help other physicians going through the same thing, the same mindset, the same issue. And so you want to think to, throughout your day, if you have an idea for content that you would be passionate about talking about, either creating a reel or a story or a graphic, just write it in your phone, in your phone notes, or write it down on a sticky tab, and then organize it all together. I keep all my ideas on the go in my notes app in my phone, so that I can just quickly do it. And then when I sit down and make time to create the content, I go refer back to that list and then organize it in a particular way depending on the month. So you just kind of want to keep track of it that way so that it's easy for you, you stay organized, or put it in a spreadsheet. A lot of clients and I, we put all the ideas that I come up with, or I create a spreadsheet for them, based off their competitors, what's been viral in their niche, what they've done in the past that has worked that we can kind of tweak and do something similar again. So spreadsheets also help too. So hopefully that answers your question.
Anything else, guys? Taylor, I have to say that Taylor was sick and she came on anyway. So thank you very, very much. I hope you feel better.
Thank you.
Taylor, how do people get a hold of you? The Medical Minder Virtual Agency. I post when people ask about a virtual, like a VA, I always post about Taylor. The replay will come out in email. I'm probably I do my emails once a week, like on my newsletter. So this week it'll be Sunday morning. I'm gonna stay off of social media, kind of get back to do maybe that content calendar. I will tell you something. I do an accountability partner in the morning on Tuesdays. And I'm so lost lately, right? So one of the things that she said was that she does a calendar for herself, like a strategy, but like actually, how do I say this? She does a calendar and then she gives it away to people like, okay, today we're going to walk 10,000 steps. Tomorrow we're going to call a friend we haven't spoken to in a while. And then she makes that her content. And I was like, that's actually pretty good because then you're getting the freebie for like, if you want to get my calendar, sign up here or whatever, and I'll send it to you. And then she has content planned for the month because it's already laid out.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah,
she
that's a good
gives that to you.
strategy. Yeah,
I
you could
like
do
that.
that.
So I think that's where I'll be heading,
I
using
think so.
garden and summer and all of that stuff.
I think so. And a lot of other, physicians can create their own calendar too, specified to their, product, their niche, even with fitness and health, doing a calendar freebie like, oh, this is a beginner,
Yep.
how to begin working out, start walking this many steps, start fast walking, start improving your heart rate. This is what heart rate normal, this is how you calculate your heart rate, goals, etc. So I mean, you could
It's endless. It really is. It's all
yeah.
anybody. It could really be individualized, even a fitness one, even a one on protein, how you get protein in 30 days, all different scales and their protein content. It's really, it could do anything.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. This has been wonderful
Thank
as always.
you. Thank you. If anyone has any questions, please email me, Taylor,
Can I
Tay.
ask,
Oh, yeah.
as a physician, Sharon, do you think that it's okay for me to do that? Like to put suggestions for, like, I mean, obviously I'd have to put a disclaimer like, hey, this isn't good for everyone, but you think it's okay? Like that stuff is okay?
The fitness stuff, I definitely think so, and especially if you want to do a beginner, so nobody's stressing out. And you can always say, check with your doctor first on
Right.
the handout. You can always say, check with your doctor first, get a physical, whatever you're supposed to, like the disclosure.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I do.
Thanks.
Same with your content too. Put in the caption a little emoji and put disclaimer. This is educational info only, not medical advice, etc. I do that for a lot of, more functional medicine doctors who talk more about the nutrition or,
Well,
different herbs, acupuncture, etc. So you have to always put your disclaimer just in case.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. But anyways, please email me, taylor.bruni, BRUNE @gmail.com. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer anyone. Thank you so much, Sharon, for having me.
Wait, I always say Taylor Brune, it's Brune.
Yeah.
Why didn't you correct me?
Oh, because we're live.
All right, Taylor Brune, thank you. I've always had Taylor Brune because that's what it looks like to me. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
Have a wonderful day, everybody. Thanks,
Oh, thank
guys.
you, everyone.
Thanks.